Hello everyone, welcome to soundproofguide.com. And now in this video this is my second video in this little series of what works and what doesn't. And in this video I'll be talking about doors. Just basically what works in soundproofing a door and what are a lot of the suggestions people are, coming at you with that just simply doesn't work. And there are a few that I have even talked about in my videos, and I wasn't clear enough on basically soundproofing and sound deadening. So I'm going to clear a lot of that up in this video because I found that sometimes I get questions on, well, does this actually work for soundproofing? And I'm just like, no, it's not really for soundproofing. It's more for sound deadening, that option. If you missed the first part, which was how to soundproof existing walls, what works, what doesn't work, click that video and go watch it. So the first thing that I'll mention for soundproofing doors that does work are door sweeps. I know if you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll know that this is a suggestion that I say all the time because it's one thing that is easy to install and is quite cheap, and it fills in the huge gap that can exist on the bottom of the door. So if you have that type of gap on the bottom of the door, having a solid door versus a hollow door, it really won't make that much of a difference, because if you don't seal that gap, noise is easily going to come in and come out of the room. So that's the first thing that you should do, very first thing, and that works. Now, if you want more information on different types of door sweeps, this video right here, I did a comparison review on 4 different types of door sweeps. And these door sweeps were quite different in nature. So it gives you a better idea, because if you just go on Amazon and you click door sweeps, you'll have many different door sweeps. You'll have rubber door sweeps, you'll have just trust me, you'll see that there's a lot of different door sweeps, and that video will lead you to the right one. Now, where I usually go for door sweeps are with the rubber door sweeps at the bottom. The one that I usually get is the one that you're seeing on your screen. It's an industrial door sweep. It's about $10, $12 on Amazon or at Home Depot. And I find that basically that works very well. The reason why I like this one is it allows it to actually touch the floor and drag a little bit on the floor. And this type of rubber is quite durable, so you won't be getting snags and just snags if you're opening and closing it with little pebbles dragging. At least it'll avoid that, because there are some door sweeps, yes, that are $5, some are $3. You put them on, they kind of look the same, but when you hold it in your hand, you'll notice that it's not the same. It's quite flimsy, it's worthless, it won't work. So just buy something that actually works. And now for what doesn't work. Now, I do get this question often enough, and it just doesn't work, is to spray foam the inside of your hollow door. Now, if you're spray foaming, if you're spray foaming anything, if you're spray foaming a wall for insulation, one thing that spray foam is absolutely not good at whatsoever is soundproofing. So I never recommend spray foaming a wall if you're primarily looking for soundproofing. And doing it to the door, it's really not cost effective, because each of these cans are about $15, $16, $20. And then you'll have to drill holes in your door, spray foam the inside. You might use 3-4 cans to actually get it done. And spray foam just doesn't work for soundproofing. So this is one that I would completely avoid. It sounds like a cool trick, but it just doesn't really work at all. So use that money that you'd be putting on spray foam into something else. Now, for something that does work very well is weather stripping. Now, I've talked about this a few times, of course, is just to buy regular weather stripping. The one that I usually recommend is the self-adhesive weather stripping, and just basically wrap the weather stripping around the interior casing of the door. Before you do that, make sure that the area is clean and dry, because if you have a dusty, dirty surface, the self-adhesiveness will not really stick and it won't really last. So just make sure it's clean and dry. And these types of weather strips, if you go online and you look, you'll find a lot of different types of weather strips, but the one that I usually recommend is just the the weather strip that's not too wide, and also the weather strip that you can separate. So if it is a little bit too wide for the area that you want to place it in, you can literally cut that in half, and it's the rubberized weather stripping that works the best. Now I'll have links in the description below of this very weather strip and also the door sweep I was talking about and everything else in this video. Now for something that doesn't work quite well in soundproofing are acoustic blankets or moving blankets. They have different names for these, but really putting a blanket over a door won't really help it in terms of soundproofing. It won't stop much noise, if any noise at all, unless you basically use the blanket to cover gaps, like to cover the gaps on the bottom of the door where a door sweep would go. Then if you shove the blanket inside and you're covering that hole, yes, that will actually work a little bit for soundproofing, but to put a blanket over a door, it really doesn't do much for soundproofing. What it does, it's more of a sound absorbing, a sound deadening, which will make the room sound better. If you have a large room that you do recordings, or that you just want to, it's a media room, let's say, and you just want your movie or music to sound better, then a blanket over hard, flat areas, which would be walls and doors, that will make it a little bit, it'll make the room sound better, but it won't do anything to soundproof the door at all. Now let's go to something that does work, is to completely switch the door. Put a solid core door, because most houses will have hollow core doors inside the house that just goes from room to room. Usually you'll find a solid core door maybe for an exterior door, but you can go and you can just buy a solid core door that looks exactly like the other doors you have in your home, and if you're and this will set you back between $100 to $300 depending on the type of door that you do want. But these doors are solid, there's no hollowness inside the door, and that will help soundproof the door much better than using some type of spray foam gimmick to actually get it done. Now, one thing with solid core doors is if you install the door, make sure to follow the steps that I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, which is door sweep and weather strip. Now if you do the door sweep and weather strip with a solid core door, you will notice a huge difference in the amount of noise that goes from room to room. So this is a good idea if you're just looking to soundproof one door in your home. If you're looking to soundproof 5 or 6 doors, well, it's a good idea for soundproofing, but then it's just a matter of, is it within your budget to actually change that many doors inside your home? So that's something to think about. Now for another thing that doesn't work are acoustic curtains. Some people will say that you just put a bunch of curtains in front of the door and that will stop the noise. It works basically the same as blankets. Usually curtains are a little bit thinner, and usually sound absorbing curtains, or I guess soundproofing curtains that some people would call, do have some, it's like a 3-layer material, and it does deaden sound. It will stop a little bit of sound if you have it on your window, but you really have to make sure that it's sealed quite good, that you at least either have Velcro around that you can kind of seal the gaps, or that you have big enough curtains that you go quite further than the casing, which it just don't do it. It doesn't work. Doesn't work for soundproofing. Again, it'll make the room sound a little bit better, but I'd just get moving blankets instead if that's your goal, is to cancel out echo. I'd go with that before curtains, because curtains will set you back a little bit more, where a moving blanket will not. So I hope that cleared a lot of misconceptions or confusion up. Now, if you're thinking of other ways to soundproof the door, or other ways that you've heard that really doesn't work, leave a comment below, let me know, and let the community know, because I could just take that comment and include it in my next video about door soundproofing, and I'll make sure to give you a shout out. So thank you. Feel free to take a look at many of our other YouTube videos and also some of our articles on our website, soundproofguide.com. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this video, and also consider subscribing to our channel if you like our content. Also, feel free to leave us a comment below if you have any soundproofing questions of your own. We will certainly try our very best to help you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video or any other videos in our channel. Thank you very much.